Actually, it was pretty simple to choose the right amplifier for the sound I would like to hear on my first CD. A week before the first meeting with Jörg Zeh at the Perfromance Studio, I wrote a list with a complete workflow, what kind of equipment I needed, what I wanted to try out. 1 week later, we went over the production agenda and my wish list. There were a lot of amps I would have liked to use for the recording, but Jörg said, hey, just take the Mesa Boogie and believe me, you will love it. I was really curious about using it. So, my choice is here, and this is the Mesa Boogie dual and triple rectifier. I don't need to explain the details about these amps. Everyone knows this is a legend with a huge sound. Actually, I was a little skeptical about it because these amps are being used by so many shredding metal bands that play 100 notes a minute, and I won't be a part of it. But don't think that this amp is only for metalheads. Mostly yes, for metalheads, and my album belongs to this kind of music, but the idea was to go away from the classics, from standards, away from typical metal, so I decided to prove this legendary sound on flexibility. 3 days after the live session and the recording of the basic tracks, we started to work on the guitars. Here began very creative and subtle work, because every song has not only one guitar line but 4 or 5, plus we double or sometimes triple each part. So for me it was very important to hear every note I played and to get it as clear as possible. The first song we tried was Epidemic. To record this song was pretty simple. There is just the one clean guitar, one distorted guitar, and causulato for background and for solo as well. We focused here on the aggressive distortion sound because it goes through the whole song. And the important thing, especially in the second verse where I use the whammy bar, was not to boost the gain and to get an audible sound of whammy parts. I like the dissonant chords and notes. They are a part of my style I develop. They have some mysterious, magical and deep character, and it's more interesting for me to play these forbidden chords. For example, like on the song The Liars, or on Level We Achieve. So, by working with the distortion and these kinds of chords, it's very important to make these chords readable, and Rectifier allowed me to work on the sound and to perfect it for my own style. For example, the song Creator, where you hear an increase at the beginning of the song. I started with light distortion, then add more juice to the sound, and then full power. Or in the verses where I used the whammy bar, or in the breaks between the verses. All the sounds we achieved just with this one amp. Sure, all amps have settings that could be changed, but Mesa Boogie surprised me how precise you can work on its sound and how filigree it is. Our biggest challenge were the songs From the Point of the Stars, Dive and Pulse. There are a lot of effects and guitars, different verses with different sounds and its nuances. The clean sound dominates in these songs. For example, on Dive, I needed the sound of water to make it deep and clear at the same time. With closed eyes, you're gonna get the impression of being underwater and to feel this secret world. On the song, From the Point of the Stars, it's quite the contrary. You are in space, so it was important to separate this sound from Dive and to make it more airy and colder. The song Pulse describes the vision of the main character. It stays in the desert, and the clean sound should express the dry land. When I started to write the songs for the album, I decided to minimize the solos, just for the reason to be a little different in this music genre and not to be a part of a school challenge where everyone tries to top each other and to play better or faster. I always played the solo guitar in my old bands, so this time it was more interesting for me to focus on the rhythm guitar. So I tried to create some combined riffs, like on the song How Sick Are You? Or From the Point of the Stars. The amp gives a very good sound for solos. On my album, I used this solo channel without my live equipment. The idea was to minimize the use of effects and EQs and let the sound to be as natural as possible. Steve Vai, Muse, Stone Sour, Slipknot, Serj Tankian, Pantera, Queens of the Stone Age, a lot of bands inspire me. Tool is such a great band with really great and deep musical ideas. To be honest, I discovered this band a little late after I had finished writing songs for my album. Anyway, these 7 bands are always with me and influence me very much while composing. I don't copy these artists, and I can hit just one note that sounds like Steve Vai or Dimebag Darrell or Adam Jones. This is an energy I can never achieve, but I can express my own energy, and Rectifier made it possible. I was always looking for personality in my music, and I'm still on it. I'm too young for saying that I created my own style. But it's very interesting to search for it and to put your energy and your character into the music and to observe your development. This amp can help you to find your own sound too and to render the energy you've got, because it's really like a chameleon and allows you to be Metallica, be Steve Vai, be Muse, but in your own way.